Hello, welcome to Jason the Old Millennial. My name is Jason, speaking to you here in my basement in the great state of Kansas. In today's video, continuing my series of ranking every single Beatles song. This time we are covering 64 to 61. So see what we have here on Jason the Old Millennial. Hello, hope everybody's doing well here on a Saturday evening. Pretty happy. Just watched the Kansas City Chiefs win their playoff game and get into the AFC Championship for a fifth time in a row. Pretty exciting for a Chiefs fan, except that Patrick Mahomes got hurt during the game, so a little concerned about that, especially when you have to play the Bills or the Bengals next week. Anyway, so that was a good note. I just got done watching that game and wanted to do this video before I ate my supper. So we're counting down, ranking all my Beatles songs, or every single Beatles song, and we're doing 64 through 61. So we're getting into right before the top 60 songs on the list. I got a lot of some earlier songs on this one, in fact, from the 64, 65 period, anyways, kind of the early middle period of the Beatles, anyways. So we're going to start off at number 64 with the song Tell Me Why, which is a song that comes off of A Hard Day's Night. And it's, of course, a Lennon-McCartney song, as every song was a Lennon-McCartney on that album. And not only that, but it was really a heavy John Lennon album. John basically wrote, I want to say at least 8 of the songs or something like that on the album. And a lot of songs are kind of like this song, where they're just very nice and catchy rock songs of the time. And it kind of sounds like a lot of those Beatles rock songs of the 63, 64 period. I feel like before you get to Rubber Soul, the sound changes a little bit, but during this time period, we kind of have a similar sound here with with the guitars and everything, and just the way they wrote songs. And a lot of times they wrote songs like this. There's not a lot to say about the song. There's not a lot of background or information. It feels like a lot of songs in the Hard Day's Night era was kind of like John Lennon just kind of quickly wrote a lot of these songs, and they were good, but he didn't really write a lot of deep. They didn't really get into deep writing quite yet. And so this is a really good song. I have it number 64. Is one of my favorite of the early period. I would call it like the early mop top period of the Beatles, when the Fab Four period, when they really first really got huge in the States and all over. It's just really super catchy song. And really well paced, it's like 2 minutes or less song, so it's a pretty fast paced. I mean, it's a pretty short song, but so enjoyable. I don't believe it's in the movie itself. It's I believe on the second side of the album. But it's one of those songs where I absolutely love when they get into that chorus. Tell me why you cried and why you lied to me, and they hit some high notes that are pretty nice. But it's just why the Beatles are so great is because of the Lennon and McCartney sound. Sounds absolutely amazing on this song, and it's one of those. It's a upbeat song where you have great harmonies between Lennon and McCartney, especially. I don't know if Harrison's in there too. I definitely hear Lennon and McCartney singing together, and yeah, they're the greatest two singers to me in the world. So when those two are singing together, it's just absolute magic, and that's why I love this song. It's such a fun song. Love the chorus so much. And drumming overall is really good. Right before, I find I see this a lot in some of these songs, but right when you get to the chorus, all of a sudden the drumming picks up. Tell me why. I love Ringo's drumming there, fast drumming right before the chorus. There's also a bridge part where they really hit some high notes. They kind of go falsetto a little bit. Overall, I love the vocal work on here. And yeah, just a really fun song. So I have Tell Me Why at number 64 on my list. Number 63, I have another Hard Day's Night song, and this is I Should Have Known Better. Also, of course, another Lennon McCartney song, mostly by Lennon. I love the fact that it has the harmonica to begin it. Dun, 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 dun. I love that overall melody with the guitar and the harmonica, which they did really well in this early period, and then they kind of just decided not to do the harmonica. I think John was getting tired of maybe doing the harmonica, and he wanted to concentrate on the singing part. But I do love when they this early period, I call it, where they use the harmonica quite a bit, and I think it really sounds good in some of these songs like this. It's another really, again, kind of like the last one. It's really nice, upbeat, catchy song. that I really enjoy. What I like about this song so much really is like the first time watching the movie, it's a Hard Day's Night. Obviously you begin the movie on A Hard Day's Night. It begins with that bang, that chord, and you see the Beatles running away from the fans, and that's how it begins. So Hard Day's Night is the first song, of course, you hear on the movie, but it's almost like opening credit song where we're just kind of nothing's really happening. We're just seeing. I mean, there's no dialogue. We're just seeing the Beatles running away from their fans, and we kind of get introduced to all the characters like the grandpa and everything. But then after that, we get onto the train, and that kind of takes up a lot of the first part of the movie. Um, and there's a part where they go into the back, and all of a sudden they have their guitars, and all of a sudden they start in on "I Should Have Known Better." So "I Should Have Known Better" is kind of the first song in the movie after the opening song, "Hard Day's Night." So this is the first one that really introduces you. If you're watching this movie and you don't know the Beatles, this song is like introducing you to the Beatles. And when I remember when I was like I said, 10 years old or something like that, and I first kind of got into the Beatles, and I was still kind of learning all their songs. I wasn't real well known. Their songs weren't well known yet for me. I was still learning quite a bit. I knew, the early hits mostly, and I hear stuff here and there, but I had so much more, to learn about them, and so many more songs to get familiar with. And I remember, learning that the Beatles made movies, and I was like, "What? The Beatles were in movies? Like, I gotta watch these movies." And I don't know if we bought or rented like a Hard Day's Night or something like that, or maybe borrowed it from somebody. But I remember first time watching Hard Day's Night, knowing nothing about the movie or the songs in the movie really. And when they go to this, "I Should Have Known Better," the very first song, man, I was so hooked into that song, hooked to the movie, hooked on the Beatles. I mean, it was like one of those like, man, this song is so good. Like I don't know, I have a real distinct memory the first time listening to the song through the movie and just being like, man, I really love the Beatles. And at like 10 years old, I was like, man, this band is so great. And I think maybe it's just because of the catchiness. Obviously, as a kid, I don't know the deeper meaning songs, but I probably more was into the more catchier songs of the Beatles, which is more the earlier period, I feel like, which was just a lot of upbeat, really upbeat rock classic songs, rock pop kind of mixture, I guess you can say. Yeah, absolutely the song from the beginning with the, like I said, the harmonica and the guitar. And I love the way John opens up into a verse when he goes, "Oh, I should have known better." Like, I love that. "Oh, I." Like the way John sings it is just absolutely amazing and just really clicks you into the first verse where you're like, wow, I'm really enjoying this already. And we're just getting to the first line of the song. But again, great vocals from John. And I just love, when they get to, they're going through the verse and then they get that harmonica back in. Dun, 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 I should have known better with the girl. I don't know. It's just, oh man, it's so fun to sing to, so catchy. John is just amazing on it. So that's why for me, it's definitely this, I really have a good fond memory of the song. And so it's here at number 63. I Should Have Known Better. Number 62, I have the first song on Rubber Soul, "Drive My Car." It was on the Rubber Soul album, as we know in the UK. In the US, we didn't get into the Yesterday and Today album around that time. It was a Lennon McCartney song, mostly a Paul McCartney song. He kind of lead sings it. Though, anyways, what I love about the song, it opens up Rubber Soul. It's a great opener. It's a really good rock song that really sounds different than any of their songs up to that point, I feel like. Coming up from Beatles Cell to all of a sudden you get to Rubber Soul. And there's something about the bass, the electric guitar just sounds different. It sounds a little heavier. There's definitely, of course, spending more time in the studio maybe, and that's why. But I don't know. It just it was the hardest rock song that they have done up to that point, I feel like. I mean, if you're listening to the songs in chronological order, or the albums in chronological order, you get to Rubber Soul and you get to this song, and that bass I love the bass on this song. It felt like I said, I don't know if I said this before, but it just felt like when we got to Rubber Soul, Paul McCartney was like, "I'm going to become the best bass player in the world." And that's what he did. He like upped his bass game by a bunch. And he was not a bad bass player before, but it just felt like he really knew like how to make the bass even better, how he played it and made it so you hear it and you go, man, I really hear the bass in the song. It's so good. But it's I love Paul's rock vocals with John. Paul singing like, of course, more higher. I mean, Paul singing like really high, and he's really putting out his rock voice, which is really good. John's singing lower, and he's not singing as like loud as Paul. Paul's voice is much louder than John's, but you can hear John's kind of just right below him, and it works so well. I don't know, their dynamic, of course, was absolutely, like I said, amazing. They're two like great singers ever to me, and absolutely love how they can harmonize. And they don't really harmonize, but the way they sing together on these rock songs and just sound so great and just ups it up in a level that no other band could do. But yeah, it has a nice guitar solo in there. Like I said, it was like just different sounding. It sounded a little heavier to me. Just absolutely loved it. The song itself, lyrically, I mean, it doesn't really mean anything except about a guy who, something about finding a celebrity and then being the driver or whatever, or the girl saying to the guy, you know, I need a driver, drive my car. Anyways, it means nothing, but it's just a fun song again, and just great instrumentation, I think, and vocals and drumming. Drumming again. You say Ringo maybe the weak member of the group and as a drummer he's not that strong, but I love the drumming in the song. You know, I love when they get up to the chorus. The drumming again stays this way, and then you get to the chorus and goes dun 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 dun. Like it has this amazing, like it changes up. It's the way he's drumming it, and it kind of gets you ready for the chorus because you hear that drumming, bum 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 bum, and you're like, all right, the chorus is coming up because I hear that drumming's doing something different, picking up, and just a great intro or good transition into that great chorus, baby, you can drive my car, and then they have the piano, bum, 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 bum. And a lot of people criticize the song because of the beep, beep part where they go beep, 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 yeah. I like it. I really enjoy that. It doesn't ruin the song for me at all, and I think a lot of people say, I don't like the song because of that beep, 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 them doing the beep sounds anyways, but I really enjoyed it. In fact, the first time I heard this song was watching when I was 10 years old or so. We went and saw this Dan Branson in the Glen Campbell Theater. We saw my first Beatles tribute band I ever saw, and it was called 1964 Tribute. And they played all the songs basically in the 63, 64 era, all the early Beatles stuff. And it was amazing. It's the first time I saw, Beatles tribute. And I love watching Beatles tribute bands play, dressed like the Beatles and play the songs. And I remember they actually get into 1965. They do a couple of 1965 songs. And one of the songs they did was Drive My Car. And that's the first time I ever heard Drive My Car. And I remember hearing it, first time hearing it really, I remember hearing it live from a Beatles band and just being like, man, I really like the song. What is this song? I never heard of it. Anyway, so I do have some distinct memories of just always loving this song anyways. I think maybe more than others, but yeah. 62, I got Drive My Car. All right, number 61, the last song I'm going to say on this video, comes off Beatles for Sale and is I'm a Loser. It comes off of the Beatles for Sale for UK. And in America, we didn't have Beatles for Sale. We had Beatles 65 was when it came out. It's another Lennon McCartney song, obviously another John Lennon. John Lennon seems to like to sing negatively, and Beatles for Sale is very negative. The songs are actually very negative sounding. No Replies about the very first song is about finding your girlfriend basically cheating on you. I'm a Loser. I mean, very negative towards yourself, and obviously again having trouble with a loved one and kind of calling yourself a loser. You got I don't want to spoil the party because I don't want to spoil the party because you're down in the dumps, so you're gonna leave the party because you're just not up for it. And then Baby in Black is all about girls wearing black because she's getting over a breakup. So yeah, I don't know, there's just a lot of negativity there, but I love all the songs because of it. But I feel like it's definitely showing the Beatles writing style is definitely changing a little bit. This is right between Hard Day's Night and Rubber Soul, so it's kind of a buffer for what we're going to get in Rubber Soul, where I think the songwriting is going to just get a little more deeper. I don't know is the right word, but I think just a little bit better writing style. And it's not about just loving a girl or I'm sad because of this girl or whatever. I don't know. It's just the writing's getting a little bit deeper, a little profound, I guess. And a lot of that is because at this point they met Bob Dylan. They were big fans of Bob Dylan at the time, and famously they got to hang out with Bob Dylan. Bob Dylan introduced them to marijuana for the first time, and they got to get high on marijuana, I believe, and absolutely fell in love with it, and were big marijuana smokers ever since. So Lennon definitely was influenced by Bob Dylan in this period, starting with this album, Beatles for Sale, and you definitely feel it in like a song like this, I'm a Loser, which I said, it sounds like, and I never thought of it until I was reading about researching it, and they said it was very influenced by Bob Dylan. I was like, yeah, I can kind of see Bob Dylan writing the song and singing the song. It could be a good Bob Dylan song. So yeah, John, and this is great for the Beatles to kind of, elevate or to evolve a little bit at this time from their just Mop Top days of just singing, which I loved their Mop Top days of singing these really, fun, catchy songs about love and stuff like that. And now we got one about being down in the dumps because of, love loss and saying the words, I'm a loser. But anyways, just getting to the song though, again, absolutely love this song. Second song, I believe, on the album. Again, I think I love it so much because of the chorus. And I love how the verses, and it starts with, I'm a loser. And it's not much instruments behind it. And then I'm a loser, and I'm not what I appear to be. And then all the instruments come in. I mean, it's a great opener to the song. It really hooks you in. And I love just the harmonies of I'm a loser. It sounds so great just to begin the song. And then I like how the verses, John's singing by himself really, and it's not real upbeat. It's kind of in the middle, and it's fine. But then once you get into the chorus, all of a sudden it feels like the music kind of really picks up, and all the other Beatles come in and kind of hear this kind of harmony with so it kind of, I love how it kind of goes almost soft to loud. And I always love that about music, when you kind of start soft and you build up to something. So it always feels like, I love how the verses transition and build up to the chorus. It goes, I'm a loser and I'm not what I appear to be, I'm a loser. And yeah, it's just really catchy, really fun, nice guitar solo in there as well. And overall, again, great vocals from John. I always love his vocal work at this period of every song, but especially these early rock songs. He's always so really good at it. And I don't know, it's just something I love about the whole deprecating type song, I'm a loser, because we all feel that way sometimes when we're down in the dust, going over a breakup, having trouble with love, you do feel like a loser sometimes. So I think that does play into feelings of some people anyway. So yeah, overall, all the 4 songs so good. It's hard to rank these because I almost want to say they're all great songs that I put them in order, but they're all pretty close to each other. Love them all here. So yeah, 61, I'm a loser. That's the end of my list. Please comment. What do you think about these 4 songs? What's your favorite out of them? Would they go higher on your list or lower? Love to read all those comments, and I appreciate anybody that comments on my videos. Always read them and try to respond back as fast as I can. I love that back to forth with all the listeners and getting to know everybody and kind of learn about everybody else anyways. And that's what's so fun about doing YouTube, is meeting people and getting to know other people that have a similar love of music and so forth. So yeah, comment, love to read them. Thank you for everybody watching this video. Thank you for liking it. And I really appreciate all of the supporters or the subscribers for supporting the channel. I appreciate you and I hope you have a good day.